As we draw ever so closer towards the final battle against Black Goku, Vegeta takes Trunks under his wing as they engage in a grueling and intense training session in order to better prepare for the dangers to come, as Vegeta sets his sights on destroying Black alongside better preparing Trunks in the process. Welcome Dragon Ball Super fans to my official Dragon Ball Super Episode 54 breakdown and review entitled Inheritor of Saiyan Blood, Trunks' Resolve, as we head towards Dragon Ball Super Episode 55 as we draw ever so closer towards the final battle against Black. Now please be warned that this video will contain massive amounts of spoilers, so if you guys don't want anything ruined for you, simply fast forward the video, go watch the episode, come back so we can talk more Dragon Ball Super down in the comments. Don't cry in the comments about being spoiled by the thumbnail or any of that, because nothing is being said or shown that you guys don't already know. Also, be sure to check out the description down below for lots of goodies, updates, and contact information to where we can interact on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That way we can talk more Dragon Ball Super. And again, quick plugs before we begin. If you guys are new to this channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for all latest in Dragon Ball news, updates, What If Battles, Xenoverse 2, and much more daily uploads and daily content for you all to watch and enjoy. So I thank you so much for supporting the channel greatly, as I always do. Be sure to spread the word about Unreal ENT Gaming. The translations were provided by Herms98 on Twitter, just in case you guys are wondering how I was able to pick up on the dialogue prior to the subs coming out. And with that being said, on to the episode now. Just as everybody had already known, Trunks and Vegeta are now officially prepping for their battle against Black. Now here's the thing, right? Vegeta in this particular episode was very harsh on Trunks for the right reasons, of course. Now you have to look at Vegeta's point of view on things. Vegeta sees his son as being a weakling compared to the people around him currently, that being Beerus, Whis, Goku, and himself. Trunks had so much time to improve, but did little to nothing to actually make any sort of improvements. Now, we see Vegeta and we see Trunks and we see somewhat of a bonding occur, and obviously enough, this is going to build towards the reveal of Super Saiyan Rose, which is the Super Saiyan Pink transformation from Black. In fact, it is going to be pink, and of course, with the final battle with them heading into the future. And of course, with that being said, Vegeta does not want to take any risks or chances here. So we start the episode off with future Trunks having these visions of fighting Black, and every single time that he manages to fight Black in his vision, he seems to always lose. He has this obsession with defeating Black. Black has been someone who has been embedded in his brain throughout this entire time, obviously enough, ruining his life, ruining his future, killing his mom off, torturing him. So every single time he sees himself fighting Black, he obviously sees himself losing, and we see how Mai is just looking at him. And I think this was a very weird yet very uncalled for scene, because we see Mai, she pretends that she was actually the one in the future that was laid out, and we see how Trunks is hovering over her, and towards like the very end, we see how Mai is just, you know, infatuated with kissing Trunks, and we see how Trunks is trying to make a move and kiss Mai, and it was just really uncalled for. But nevertheless, we see how Trunks is still struggling to battle Black within his head, and we see something come crashing down, and obviously enough, it's Beerus and Goku, because they were struggling in control of speed. You know, one person wanted to get home faster than the other, and we see how they came crashing down, and Trunks is really worried, and that's when he ran up and he was like, what the heck is going on? And Whis was like, well, these two are fighting on the way home and stuff. And we see how everyone after that has dinner, and as everyone else is eating, we see how Trunks is informed about the Zamasu incident, but he's also informed that Goku was able to hold his own and fight at one point the God of Destruction Beerus. And at that given point, we see that Trunks begins to lose all faith in himself. Why? Because he starts to ask himself, you know, if Goku was actually able, you know, to go toe-to-toe against someone like Beerus, you know, like, what purpose do I have? You get what I'm saying? So Trunks was obviously doubting himself, and he starts to freak out hearing the fact that Goku fought, you know, the God of Destruction, and if Goku is so strong, then what use is he in his fight with Black? So we see Vegeta, he's staring at Trunks the entire time. He didn't want to say nothing, but we see how he's looking at him, and then after that, we see Trunks sit down, and he's hurt by this, because he knows that if someone was able to go toe-to-toe against God of Destruction, what purpose does he have? And that's when Vegeta called him on over, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna give you some training, just meet me so-and-so. And Trunks is very excited, so he went on ahead, and we pan it over back to Zamasu and Gowasu. Now, here's the thing, guys. We see how Zamasu went to go make more tea, and he gave it to Gowasu, but it did not taste as good as it did prior to Beerus, Whis, and Goku arriving. Before Goku, Whis, and Beerus managed to arrive, Gowasu told Zamasu that the tea was very good because it was very pure. After Gowasu had drank the second batch of tea Zamasu had made after Beerus, Whis, and Goku had left, Gowasu specifically told Zamasu that the tea did not taste as good. Either the tea has been, you know, bad, or just has gone bad, or, you know, there's something tainted about Zamasu. We see how Zamasu is beginning to change, and we see how Gowasu begins to explain, ultimately enough, to Zamasu about Planet Babari and how they keep fighting, and Zamasu suggests to wipe them all out. And that's when Gowasu begins to tell Zamasu, you can't speak like that. And he was very shocked. He was like, that right there is the talk of the God of Destruction. You have to know your role, because, you know, you are not assigned to be the God of Destruction. You have no right to destroy anything. So why is it that you want to just destroy people people, even if they're fighting, what business do you have, you know, playing the role of God of Destruction? So obviously enough, we do know that Zamasu is black, but the question here is Zamasu in fact black in the flesh, or did he specifically create black in spite of having revenge to Goku? Because obviously enough, towards the end of last week's episode, he promised to vow revenge on Goku. So Gowasu suggests that they actually use the time rings to go 1,000 years into the future to check up on the barbarians and see if they get along. And as suggested, Zamasu didn't really have an understanding as to how the time rings worked. Obviously enough, we do understand that he's supposed to be a soon-to-be Kaioshin, so he doesn't really have a knowledge as to what the heck is going on. But we see how, you know, Gowasu hopes that the barbarians aren't such jerks in the future. And so we see how Gowasu and Zamasu enter the temple and they grab the box of rings, and Gowasu explains that you can't use the time rings to go back and change the past. You can only go and check the future, which is a little contradicting because Black Goku actually was seen, you know, being sent back into the past. So that didn't really make too much sense to me, because if you can't really go back and change the course of events that happened in the past, you know, what the heck did Black do? Because obviously enough, he destroyed future Trunks' time machine. That's messing with the flow of time, because that time machine came from the future. So if you can't really change the events that happened in the past, how come Black was able to affect, you know, Trunks' time machine after blowing it up? It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. So Zamasu gets his own pair of earrings by Gowasu, because we see Gowasu take off the green earring. So now we know where the green earring came from. So in conclusion, Black Goku is not Gowasu, because we see Gowasu give the Potara earring to Zamasu and wearing before the ordinary earrings, because the earrings that he had prior to that were just regular earrings. And of course, with that being said, Gowasu has now granted him a full-fledged Kaioshin role, and now Zamasu is officially a Kaioshin. But Zamasu is pretty much upset on the fact that he still sees the barbarians, you know, just having to fight 1,000 years in the future, and he's very upset. He wants to wipe them all out, but again, that's not his job. So we pan over back to Trunks and Vegeta, and we see, you know, flashbacks of when Vegeta first became Super Vegeta in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and that was reminiscent to, you know, before Trunks fought Vegeta and they actually trained, because Vegeta reminded him and he told him, remember when I became Super Vegeta, that was my limit at the time. And Trunks asked Vegeta to become a Super Saiyan 3, and Vegeta laughs. Vegeta laughs at the notion of a Super Saiyan 3, which again, if anybody had any hopes of seeing Super Saiyan 3, you can kiss that and just, you know, throw it out the window now, because Vegeta laughed. Vegeta laughed at Super Saiyan 3. And of course, with that being said, we see how Trunks becomes a Super Saiyan 2, and then that's when Vegeta becomes Super Saiyan Blue. And Vegeta tells Trunks if he wins, and if actually he can land a single blow on him like old times, he would reward him. So we see Trunks get all beefy, he's getting all powered up, and that's when he becomes Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, just for a moment. And Trunks notes that he can't really sense, you know, Blue Vegeta's attacks nor his energy, but Trunks, you know, he tries here. He tries to fight Vegeta, and knowing the fact that Vegeta is incredibly fast, you know, Trunks quickly buffs down to his skinnier form and he begins to fight his dad, and Trunks is getting the ever-so-living shit beat out of him. Vegeta catches him with a nice right, he kicks him in the mouth, he kicks him into the forest. We see how Goku and Bulma show up, and Bulma was a little concerned because she didn't want Vegeta to kill Trunks, so we see how Trunks was struggling, but then at the very end, once Vegeta pretty much beats the Super Saiyan out of Trunks, Trunks pretty much says to himself, wow, Dad and Goku can handle Black, you know, I'm not really needed here, because, you know, I failed to make Vegeta happy. And of course, that's when Vegeta grabs Trunks, and he tells him that you are the son of a prince. I mean, who are you to say you can't get stronger? You know, Trunks manages to land the hit, obviously, and he does. At the very end, he actually does manage to land the hit, and that's because after Vegeta powered down and he got distracted by Bulma and Goku, Trunks managed to pretty much headbutt Vegeta, causing him to go down. So we see how Trunks was struggling with the fact that he knows he is not a Super Saiyan God. He knows that he is not a Super Saiyan Blue, and he doesn't have the power to continue, but he actually has hope in that, you know, Vegeta and Goku can defeat Black. So we pan on over back to Beerus and Whis, and Beerus and Whis get a call from the Omni King, and he wants to meet with Goku. So the official titles have been revealed. I will reveal them later tonight. You guys are going to be shocked. And next week's episode is I Want to Meet Son Goku, a summoning from the Omni King. Now, one can only speculate as to what the hell the Omni King wants, but nevertheless, the Omni King wants to speak with Goku. So this could either mean one of two things. Either A, the Omni King knows of the disturbance with Black, and he knows with the events that have been going down, or you know, he wants to discuss the matters of the Omni tournament, and that's why he's possibly calling Goku to speak with him, because he knows how strong Goku truly is. But nevertheless, tune in for the prediction video, guys. Myself and a few others are going to be talking about what we predict is going to happen in next week's episode. But keep in mind, guys, keep in mind that at this very point, Black hasn't really been shown yet. So towards episode 56/57, that's when we're going to fight Black. And the reason for that was because of the title reveal. And that's going to be a monumental kind of thing, because we do understand that at a certain point, Black will transform into the Super Saiyan Rose form, which is the Super Saiyan Pink form we all, you know, hate and complain about. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Lots of awesome things that are coming. Thank you all for watching once again. If you guys are huge Dragon Ball fans, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more daily content. If you guys are stoked that finally we're getting ever so closer to fighting Black, punch that like button square in the face. Leave your thoughts down below. Again, I mean, I'm not too fond of the Super Saiyan Rose form, but I do think that this particular form is going to be incredible. And the reason for that is because if Black Goku is set to be as strong as he is, then he is going to pose a huge threat to everybody. But of course, I'm actually quite curious as to why the Omni King is going to get involved. For anybody out there who's wondering that the Omni King is going to fight Goku or the Omni King is going to fight Black, I really don't think the Omni King has a purpose in doing any of that, because number one, it's not really Omni King's fight. Number two, I think that he wants to talk to Goku about the Omni tournament, or if anything else, to check up to see what's going on with all this time warping stuff, and how he went to Universe 10 perhaps. We saw how Beerus was very, very nervous. He even broke a part of his desk once he bowed down to the Omni King when the message popped up. Like, he bowed down, he broke the entire desk, which is pretty funny. So I like the little details. The animation was alright. People are going to say, oh my god, it was the best animation since the movies. Not at all. The animation is very, very good, and I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen with Black Goku and everyone else, because we know that Trunks feels like he can't really continue, because what's the point in even fighting anymore when he cannot ever reach the level that his father reached. And obviously enough, after seeing that transformation, he was shocked. Even at his full power, he came nowhere near untouching Vegeta until he caught him off guard towards the very end. But in terms of Trunks, guys, what are your overall thoughts on how strong he might become? What are your overall thoughts on his future? Comment down below and let me know. Once again, guys, thank you all for watching. Tune in for more, and I'll be seeing you all in the prediction video. I cannot wait to see this new Super Saiyan Rose form, because whatever it is it going to be as strong as Super Saiyan Blue? We're going to have to wait and find out. So thank you all for watching. Once again, tune in for more, and I'll be seeing you all later. Take it easy, guys. Peace.